Alright, so I've never owned a smartwatch before. Not an Apple Watch, not a Samsung Watch, nothing. But I've watched enough reviews on smartwatches to know exactly how the big names like Apple, Samsung, and Google operate well within the smartwatch industry. And I'm talking their premium materials, their premium pricing, and their tightly controlled packaging. So the other day, my brother showed up with this flashy looking smartwatch that he got from an online shop that is Jumia. And if you live in Africa, you know much about Jumia. It's more or less like Amazon, but it only operates in Africa for your online shopping. So when he showed me the box, I wasn't expecting anything much. And the name on the box was iWatch Ultra Ace 240. Yeah, I know, it sounds more or less like a discount version of an Apple Watch. And spoiler alert, yeah, that is exactly what it is trying to be. But the real surprise is this thing came with a packaging so extra, I had to take a second look at it. And I was like, huh. So first up, let's start with the unboxing experience. Now, the moment I opened the box, it felt like someone took a regular smartwatch and said, you know what, let's give it a full fashion line. And I'm talking, you get a watch itself, a wireless magnetic charger, a clear protective case, plus 7 different straps. Yeah, 7. From sporty orange to rainbow braided, 2 false metal links. But this feels a little bit kind of cheap, and I'll get to that in a sec. But all this, it was like a smartwatch equivalent of a full wardrobe change, which, to be honest, this is insane. This is kind of what? Like, I don't know. Oh, and it also came with a pair of AirPods, a pair of knockoff version of AirPods, which was included in the box. But my brother is using that right now, so I can't include that in the unboxing experience. But just to know, that is also included in the package, just as seen on the box. So yeah, it's good to know. But still, for the price my brother paid for this, I was honestly shocking because I've seen smartwatches that cost 5 times more than this, and they barely even come with a second strap, let alone a whole collection of all these free stuffs included in the package. I mean, this was kind of wild. Now, for a budget-friendly smartwatch like this thing actually looks decent. So up front, you get a 1.5-inch LCD display in a 49mm case. At least that is what it is claiming to be. But the display isn't edge to edge, but it has evenly distributed bezels all around. And if you've seen other budget smartwatches of this kind, you kind of know how rare that is. Most have equally thick borders on one side and really thin ones on the other side. It's more or less like they run out of screen budget or something. But this watch's bezels are almost symmetrical, and for me, that's a standout feature. I kept tilting it trying to catch it off guard, but nope, it held its symmetry like it really had something to prove. The watch face itself makes what you'd see on an Apple Watch Ultra. Bright icons, circular applications, digital time, a compass ring. I mean, it's all there visually speaking. But make no mistake, this isn't running any Apple software. Then for build-wise, it actually feels lightweight when wearing it on your wrist. It doesn't feel too chunky or bulky or anything. It also doesn't feel cheap enough to break after a week. And the orange strap I'm using right now is actually soft and comfortable. It's kind of like made of silicone rubber or something. And swapping them out, sometimes it's smooth, sometimes it's also a little bit tricky. But that's actually nothing to really worry about. Now, I'll be honest, I wasn't expecting this watch to be smart enough in true sense. And yeah, it turns out it is not. But for a first-time user, it is actually smart enough. So here's what I've noticed. You get a basic fitness tracker, at least 7 of those, a music control icon, a compass that looks nice, but it's not accurate enough for you to rely on for your hiking or directions. A few animated icons that reminds you more of a kid's toy more than a real fitness tracking tool. And yes, it connects via Bluetooth, though not to any major smartwatch app you'd know. It uses one of those third-party apps you'd find buried in an app store. It is functional, but you don't have to expect battery smooth scrolling or fast transitions. Sometimes it hesitates when I swipe between screens. But again, for a watch that came with 7 straps, I wasn't expecting it to run NASA software or anything. Yeah, I'm kind of cool with this. Now, for power, charging is pretty much straightforward. The included magnetic charger slaps onto the back of the watch, and it's hold on fairly well. I mean, not too strong, but fairly well, and it charges up without any drama. Then for battery life, I haven't really tracked the battery life over time, but based on a small testing window I've had with it, you can actually go like 3 days or 4 to 5 with it. Straight up, if you're not constantly fiddling with the watch, it can actually last you about a week or something, which it's kind of cool. Now, there's no fast charging here, but at this price point, even having a wireless charging at all is a small win, and yeah, you should be grateful for that. Now, when it comes to daily comfort and use, one thing I would appreciate is actually how lightweight this watch actually feels on the wrist. It doesn't feel bulky or awkward in any way, even with the larger screen design. And yeah, I'm kind of okay with that. I appreciate that. So, as someone who has never used a smartwatch before, I think the novelty here is just getting notifications on my wrist and controlling music that is oddly satisfying. And yeah, I get why people get most of these things now. So, just as any gadget or device, this thing actually has its pros and cons. So, these are the things I like about it, and these are some of the things I don't like about it, starting with the things I actually like about it. So, first, it is surprisingly good packaging. So, for this, I'll rate it an 8 out of 10. The next is a set of generous accessories that's included in the box. And for that, I'll give it a 6 out of 10. The next is a symmetrical bezels it actually came. So someone can be wearing an actual Apple Watch and you can be wearing this. And if you don't pay close attention, you can somehow mismatch it for the other. And yeah, I think I kind of like this. So 9 out of 10. Then finally is a beginner-friendly UI. So for someone who is new to smartwatch, you can actually navigate through this and find out what each feature actually does. And yeah, it's pretty much okay. So for that, I'll give it a 7 out of 10. Then for the things I actually don't like about it, the first thing has to be the vibration on this thing. So the vibration on this thing actually is kind of weird. Actually, there's a button that I can just turn it off. When it vibrates, it reminds you of those old phones that when it vibrates, you can feel the whole component of the phone actually going to and fro with it. I mean, I wish there's a button that can turn off this, not if you put it onto silence or something. If you can just disable the vibration, I would actually appreciate that. The next is the limited software apps you can actually get on. So because I can actually determine the kind of software it is actually running, there are no app store for you to, download any other apps except for those that it actually came in with. So yeah, I think for this, I actually don't like it about it. And yeah, for this price point, this is what you get for it. And yeah, I'm kind of cool with it. So if you are someone like me who's never used a smartwatch before and you're planning on getting one just to get a taste of what the smartwatch experience is like, well, I wouldn't actually recommend you getting this thing. Forget all the fancy stuff I've shown you from the beginning, the packaging, all of the freebie stuff you get in the box. But to get the actual experience of a smartwatch, to me, in my opinion, I would say get the actual thing. Get the authentic smartwatch product so you get the actual feel of what a smartwatch world is like. Because with that, you get something to track your health data for you. And you get precision on apps and things that are supposed to work. They actually work well. So yeah, I mean, I would recommend you getting the actual, either if it's an Apple Watch, Samsung, Google, Pixel, any watch you want to get those. No, don't get anything like a knockoff version of anything or something. Like, I mean, nah, not me. I mean, I didn't buy it. It's from my brother. So yeah, if it were to be me, maybe that's why till now I'm still not being able to own a smartwatch, because I will surely buy an authentic something. Knockoffs, I don't know. You can't even tell how durable it is. Like maybe a year or later, it might just go off on you. You don't want that to happen to you. So yeah, get the actual thing. So let me know your thoughts on this, and also be sure to check out my other videos and hit that subscribe button if you like this. I'll see you in my next one.